Díomh ar maidin na chuirde fáilte roimh go Leavingcertirish.com is mis seánna gábhín agus tásúla gom go gach aine I dam na sláinte. Well, inis ar maidin, I suppose lá mór ag an pointe seo atá goin tá sé tá sé jackar ar bhealach a creidúns céir atá ag tarlú Timpeallacht. Major announcement this morning about the oral exams, in case you haven't heard. I'm sure most people have. The minister has announced that the oral exams have been cancelled, but that every single student will receive a 100% full mark for that portion of the exam. So that means, according to what I've seen so far, that every single one of you at either Ardlevel or Ganalavel will receive the full 40% before you sit a written exam. So congratulations, you've just passed your Irish exam. I know that this is, I've got a bit of feedback from a few of my own students at this stage. This is something that for a lot of people is entirely unexpected. And I suppose you might feel aggrieved that, you know, you've put huge work in and why does everyone else, you know, basically get a free pass on this. I suppose the bottom line is that we're in extraordinary circumstances, nationally and internationally. We all know that things are going to change quite a bit for the next couple of days and weeks ahead of us and months. But there is a lot of reassurance, I think, this morning that the minister also announced that the written exams are going to go ahead. The intention is to run the exams, perhaps with a delay, and I think most sensible people in the last few days have felt that there would be some kind of delay to the written. So look, I'm going to go to the chat just here for a minute and see what people are saying. Right now, it seems that a lot of people are, you know, maybe happy if you were struggling, but I think Sean has probably highlighted it there. You know, devastated, the oral is cancelled, everything depends on the written and oral now. And I suppose that's a feeling that a lot of people have, that, you know, and I think it's a very fair feeling to suggest that, you know, it's upsetting because those who have worked really hard are going to feel that they didn't get the result that perhaps they would have wanted. But anyway, look, I suppose our job now, if that's the phrase, and I think, yeah, there's a good question, Richard. You know, will they mark the written really hard now? I don't think that anybody's going to turn around and say, oh, we're going to start marking everything extremely hard now. I think it'll actually be marked in the same way. But what it really requires of you at this stage is to say, okay, I need to change my focus and really focus on my accuracy and my content and make sure that I can do the best possible job when the written exam takes place. So, Farir dóibh siúd atá treis go leor bre dhéana I gcóir na béal tréalach níl. Well, here's the thing. Ní obair in asnamh a bhí ann, right? That work has not been wasted. There is one absolutely crucial point I want to make to you this morning, and it is this. The work that you've done for the oral is going to stand to you in the written. I, as a teacher, teach on the principle that if you can speak it, you can write it. And the people with the greatest fluency in a written context are those who also can speak it best. And that's something that shouldn't be forgotten. All of that work you've done in vocabulary development, etc., that is going to pay off when it comes to the written exam. So all that work you've done is not wasted, and I would say that especially in the context of the Cappadoracht, in the essay section. So we'll deal with this issue at the end, if that's okay with you. If people want to do a kind of a Q&A at the end, I'm happy to accommodate that. But our job is to focus now and to get down to the work that's necessary. Yes, the orals are out of the way. They were going to be out of the way in a couple of weeks for everyone anyway. So in terms of a schedule timing, you definitely have a little bit extra time now to really focus on the written. So I'd just like to kind of provide you with that kind of reassurance that, this thing will continue. We will get through it. And, my job is to help you as best I can. So unless there was any major issues or questions, I think we'll just move on. We'll part this issue, and at the end of the session, if people want to talk about this a bit more, we'll do that. Okay. So Cá bhfuilseh maden just scríbh isteach cin chunta in bhfuilseh bhí go leor daoine ar líne inné agus súladí bei go leor daoine in éireacht linn a ríist Umbranóna. So an aiste bheith a dhéanamh goin ar maden nó Umbranóna ná feidh na timpeallachta, the environment issue, if you like, or Keshna Timpeallacht, people refer to it as a lot. Another phrase people use is on Timhail, the environment. There's a couple of different phrases you can use, but on Timpeallacht is what I generally go with. So we're going to go through an essay. Today's session won't take as long. We'll be finished hopefully by around 25 to 1. Agus a rís gacha méid le pe ceisna atá goibh nuair bheith sé déanta goin. Just to clarify for anybody who wants to know, the webinar, this live YouTube session, is completely free and will be every single day for as long as we need to be here until the exams take place. By the way, I'm not going to be doing essays every day. I'm going to be doing a whole variety of things, building your language, really focusing on Storfocal. Both the Leavingcertirish and Clústishkent, they all become really important now. So I'm going to be working really hard for the next few weeks to kind of change the way that I would have approached not just the live sessions, but in the premium course that we have, so our subscriber course, we're going to really focus in on the quality of your language, the grammar. I wasn't originally going to put a grammar course into that premium course, but I am now, because accuracy and crinnes beidh sin fíorthabhtach ar fad. So lean mí raig an aiste bheith a dhéanamh goin ná feidh na timpeallachta. So I'll just bring up the main section here. I'll just bring up my main teaching window, if that's okay, and we'll crack into this. Alright, so tá ceist hampleach a gom an seo ar maden. An ceist atá a goin ná tá sé de gúlgas ar éas óg na linne seo. The youth of today, éas óg na linne seo, tá sé de gúlgas ar they have a duty or a responsibility, if you like, a níhil a dhéanamh to do their best chun an timpeallacht a chuamh nu, to preserve or conserve the environment. So a ríist dó siúd nach raibh in éineacht linn inné an rud bechór dit a dhéanamh inis ná nótaí a bhreacha síos, so write down some notes in your copybook, take down the key store focal, and that's really what you want to do. Is if you're sitting in the class with me, take down the key terminology as we go through it. I'll keep an eye on the chat if people have questions coming through as I go through it. I'll try not to stop too much if that's possible. Okay. Arisht. The rare statistici atá ar fád doing, according to the statistics available to us, Harla trumlach an taobh gaunda atá a gcuin ó 1985 araig. So trumlach an taobh gaunda is the majority of the global warming took place since 1985 onwards. Agus harla cúig cín den na blianta is teo riamh, and five of the hottest years ever took place either Gavis de agus Gavis a Hugdeog, so 2010 to 2018. But Gavis a Shedeog an Vlian is teo or down riamh. So if you're looking for Fíorchaí facts, 2016 was the hottest year in the world ever. She need na fearki. Those are the facts. Atá ar fáil ar híomh gréas on NASA. So those are the facts that are available on NASA's website. Cé go séanann an gealt sa teachbán, even though a gealt is a mad person. So Donald Trump, for me, falls into that category. So cé go séanann an gealt sa teachbán, Donald Trump. So even though the madman in the White House, cé go séanann sé, even though he denies, a verb you mightn't be using very much. So cé go séanann sé, go bhfuil todhchaí na cruinne in Mhaol Mór. So the phrase todhchaí, you'd know well from your old work, Céir de Vega Dhéanamh todhchaí, what will you be doing in the future? Todhchaí na cruinne. You want to avoid using down all the time, over and over again. So an chrín is the globe. So the future of the globe is in Mhaol Mór, is in great danger. Ní léon dul as an bhíne se óileach faoin am seo. There's no getting out of, there's no getting away from the as an bhíne se óileach, from the scientific, out of the, or away from the scientific evidence. So fearki, facts, bhíne se evidence. Credum go mbíonn dúlgas ar folatóirí. I believe that politicians have a duty. Ceannasaíocht a léirú, so to show or demonstrate leadership. Fada atá siad in ifig while they're in office. Forír, alas, níl dóhan a dhéanamh có le déanaí. They're not doing enough recently. Maidir le ceist na timpeallachta regarding the issue of the environment. So just stop me an sin ar feadh nómadín beag ceist na timpeallachta. So the phrase timpeallacht, it's a feminine phrase, and it's third declension and tríú díochlaine. So what that means in essence is when you're putting it into its tissue ginneadach, because it's feminine, on the definite article needs to change to na. You can't put a H on a T or a D or a T in the tissue ginneadach. So what you do is you don't make any change here, but what you do then is you add an A at the end always. So when you're talking about anything of the environment, it's whatever na timpeallachta. So for example, the importance of the environment, tábhacht na timpeallachta, luach na timpeallachta, all of those phrases, it's always going to be tissue ginneadach, tríú díochlaine. Alright, so for a lot of you that might be gobbledygook, I know, but don't worry, we will be taking a look at some of these issues as we move on. So ceist na timpeallachta. Fágtar fún féin, it is left to ourselves, éasóg na linne seo, the youth of today, cuimhnú na timpeallachta a chur chun cín. So to promote something is a chur chun cín. So cuimhnú na timpeallachta a chur chun cín agus a réiteach, and that means to promote the preservation or conservation of the to promote the preservation of the environment and to solve it, agus a réiteach. Okay, yeah, we're all getting at least a H6. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Cluster on túfás nachana technula. By the way, is the voice okay? I meant to do a voice check at the start. Just somebody throw me in a text or message to let me know if the voice is coming through okay. It should be, but I meant to do that check before I started. Cluster on túfás nachana technula. So one hears, so cluster. And breather sair clush, to hear. So cluster, one hears on túfás nachana technula. One hears an awful lot of technical phrases. Faoi chóirsaí timpeallachta about environmental issues ar bhain léithúil on a daily basis. So here now is a technique I like in essays where people rattle off a couple of really good phrases at some point sequentially. So brosly untasha. I wonder if people know what that is. Brosly untasha is fossil fuels, carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide. It's an easy enough one to guess. Eisialtach, effluent, sceatha, spillages or overflows. Ceas trumig, tishu ginneadach for trumach there. Ceas trumig is excessive drought, coming from tirim, dry. Ceas trumig, lishgori, incinerators. Níl dolas, there's no getting away from it, so there's no escaping it. Ach tá an teachtar go bhfuil an aimseir ag garid níos teo agus níos fliche, but the message that the weather is getting níos teo agus níos fliche. So for anyone with the Sra picture, and this is a good example, of where your language has been developed. Droch aimseir an givrig, I would have covered that phrase as part of on Sra picture. So, hotter and wetter. Te is hot, fluck is wet. So this is what we call bresh céimena. So níos teo, hotter and wetter. Céim ar chéim. Now just be careful with this. Céim ar chéim is could be translated as degree by degree, but in actual fact I mean incrementally, bit by bit. But the message that the weather is getting hotter and wetter incrementally or bit by bit is fear holéir faoin amseo is extremely clear at this stage, or by this stage. Tigamid gwil monarchana mora, we understand that monarchana mora, large factories or big factories, agus na fehicli atá in úsáid gwin, and the vehicles that we are using are a cur leis an méid gás ceapatha chasa, and that means they are adding to a cur leis an méid gás ceapatha chasa. They're adding to the amount of greenhouse gas. A litan an chisil ozone that destroy the ozone layer law in yigle day after day. So an chisil ozone, chisil feminine phrase, so an chisil ozone is the ozone layer. Fos féin, even still, or yet even so, fecamid tish mahori ictmont. We see parents driving SUVs Olvora, massive SUVs, couple of kid slots, a couple of 100 yards, he's on board down the road, chun na scoile to the school leis na páistí. So even though we know this, we see parents driving all these SUVs down the road with the kids. Mar der an seanachal, as the old saying goes, as the phrase goes, an te nach nlachan corla, glachig sé corach. Now this is a great seanachal, so if you just note this one, write it down in full and give you a moment to get it. An te nach nlachan corla, glachig sé corach. He who doesn't take advice, another way to say that is he who doesn't yield to reason must yield to compulsion. That's the direct translation of that seanachal. So if you don't take advice on board, if you don't listen, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. So te nach glachan corla glachig sé corach. I had a question yesterday about a seanachal, or seanachals should I say, and the use of seanachals. And in the essay yesterday, looking at a course sláinte, I mentioned that seanachals are an essential part of the language and you should try to include them. There is a misconception that you have to start an essay with a seanachal. That's not true. You should start with a seanachal if it's appropriate, if it's something that makes sense, if it's suitable for the topic that you're dealing with. So that would be my advice on a seanachal, and as you can see, I've put it in here like in the second paragraph at the end of it because it works there. It's it makes sense. So don't just throw in. The worst thing you can do by a long distance is just throw in a seanachal for the sake of it, and worse still, put in a seanachal that's not actually appropriate for the topic. Some people just throw in Níl Tintan mar Tintan fin, like anywhere at all, that kind of stuff. Mulanoigus chukishi, it doesn't always work. So just avoid doing that, but we'll be looking at seanachal in a lesson, and I'll specifically outline seanachal that are appropriate to certain topics. So I'll do one live stream session specifically on seanachal and give you a whole heap of them that you can actually take away and say, yeah, I'll use these now according to the various different topics. Okay, on what? So rash quig on quid shop. All right. So mar gwna og as a young person, is léir dumsa, it's clear to me nach bhfuil míad ag ghlacha leis na dúilgaí atá orainn. It's clear to me we're not ghlacha accepting or taking on board na dúilga sí the responsibilities, the duties, if you like, that we have. Agus a bhulan na sanolaha, and that the experts advise a bhulan na sanolaha doing to us. Madar le cuevnu na Timpeallacht regarding the conservation of the environment. Is leir go gahmid, it's clear that we have to. Ahraha revlodacha a charavaim. It's clear to me that we have to put revolutionary changes in effect. That's a really important phrase. So we have to put revolutionary changes in effect. Tevistig demlina, within 10 years. Solomegshe royenach, before it is too late. Nach untach no nach intach an skele, isn't it a great situation? Isn't it a great story? Gwil fachta sorry oga. So new phrase for a lot of you possibly today. Isn't it a great situation that fachta sorry oga, that young campaigners are nos Greta Thunberg. So Greta, as we all know, is a great leader of young people and an environmental activist. So you could go with fachta sorry Timpeallacht as well. So isn't it great that we have young campaigners, young activists, are nos Greta Thunberg, such as Greta Thunberg, a Daigor, a teenager, of Shamelina Daigdish. Actually, I should change this. She's now nearly 18, I think, is she, when I wrote this originally. She was 16, so she's definitely at least Shacht Mlina Daigdish. Sorry, wrong colour. She's definitely at least 17, and someone can correct me if they Google it there quickly. In the, well, I suppose maybe by the time you do your Leavingcert, maybe she'll be 8 Mlina Daigdish. Anyway, her age, we won't get too caught up in it. Shacht Mlina Daigdish, Ontulen from Sweden, right? Ontulen, so from Sweden. Nach Intel kan skele, Gwilchi Giri and Sail more a Grisa. Here's a lovely phrase for you today. Isn't it great that she is a Giri and Sail more a Grisa? Now, in sail more, sail means life, but it also means everyone. So, isn't it great that she's trying to incite or spur people into Naharach Shaw a Yenaf Lorach Bound? Isn't it great that she's trying to spur people into making these changes? Lorach Bound immediately. 17 since January, Gurmagat the Hyon, so we can get rid of the Ucht. She's not going to be Ucht Mlina Daigdish when you guys are doing Leavingcert, so it's definitely that. Mahu, Tau Fair. So, Igirian Sail more Agrisa Conahara Show Yena Lorach Bound to make these changes immediately. Is Udur more Mishnik Dumsa? It's a great source of pride to me, and I suppose Mishnach is hope. So is Udo more Mishnik Dumsa? It's a great source of hope to me. It gives me great hope is another way of saying it. So you could go with is Udo more Mishnik August Broid Dumsa is the phrase I actually want to say. So I'll just put in there. You could say it's a great source of Mishnach is hope. August you could go with Broid, right? So it's a great source of encouragement, hope, and pride to me. Gur Irigley Arden Fubble a hort that she managed to bring the public's attention. So she managed to direct the public's attention, Arden Fubble a hort, Gáirireacht na Faibe, onto the seriousness of the problem. Now, yes, I did a kind of a grammar section after we finished the lesson, and I actually thought about it a little bit. Maybe I'll do a little bit of grammar stuff within the essays while I'm teaching them to you when it's such a big group. One of the most common issues we see all the time is the phrase fibe, problem, okay? It is feminine now, Buninchganuk, Sadara Dioclina, okay? So when you want to say the problem, you need to say on ibe with a H. So if you think of something like ban, the word ban, I'll go over here with a different colour now and just explain this masculine feminine thing to you very briefly because I'll be doing quite a bit of it. And by the way, in the comments, will you just put in some information about, what are you struggling with around the Tisha Ginnock, so that in future lessons I can come back in and I can address the issues you have around them. So just drop a comment in there while I'm doing this, just so you're giving me a chance to address your issues in a better way. So the way I try to get people to think of masculine and feminine is this. For masculine, think of the word far. And for feminine, think of the word ban. Now, far means a man, ban means woman. But if you think about it, we always say tá an fear sa siopa, tá an bhean as láthair, or something like that. Okay? So, in essence, what you need to remember is for masculine, there is no H. For feminine, there is a H when you're talking about what we call an tishal amnach, right? And what happens then is, in the Tisha Ginaduk, those situations reverse. So if we take, for example, far, right? We've got to be able to say the man's hat. That will become hata on ear. So what happens is, in the Tisha Ginaduk, the rule reverses. You're going to have a H where possible with the masculine nouns, and with the feminine nouns, run out of space here, it will be hata na mano. Now you can see that there's no H here. It's not hata na vano, right, or something like that. But also, really crucially, in the Tisha Ginnock, with a feminine noun, on changes to na, always in the singular, right? So iver uha, you always change on to na. Now in the plural, on always is na anyway, but this is the eshkocht. This is the exception to the rule. Or well, it's not the exception to the rule, it is the rule, but it's the exception that people generally don't understand. Okay, so Kira has a good question, or has a good point there about the differences between singular and plural Tisha Ginaduk. Yeah, and one thing I'll say to you straight away, Kira, I wouldn't be as concerned about the Tisha Ginaduk plural, because it's much easier to manipulate and create. But the Tisha Ginaduk singular is the one that causes all the problems around this issue of, is it masculine, is it feminine, is it on or na, where's the H going? I guess here, and again you can put it in the comments, guys, I'm guessing that the vast majority, Trumlach na nina, Tisha Ginaduk plural, Trumlach na nalti even, are extrachel gagir leis an vibe show. We're all struggling with this problem at some level. I love doing this. I was very lucky many years ago when I was into Gaeltacht. I had a fabulous teacher, a guy called Seamus O'Croulon, and he was just unbelievable regarding Corsi Grammatic. So what I'd be hoping to do is share a bit of that knowledge. I have a video, by the way, you can check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. I can't remember the exact title of it, but if you put in Leavingcertirish.com Tisha Ginaduk, you'll get it. It's about a 45 or 46 minute lesson looking at the basics of the Tisha Ginaduk. So that's there, that's up there now for you. It's a resource, go use it. As I say, in our premium course, I will be doing more work on grammar than I originally intended, because of the importance that's going to be placed upon the written paper now. But anyway, we'll come back to that another day. So was that useful? Just that small explanation, was that useful to people? Let me know, is that the kind of stuff that you want me to be doing more of? Just put it in the comments. Is this the kind of area that you want to flesh out? And what I can do is, again, as I say, for people in my subscriber course, they will get all of the different worksheets and all the different resources, but I will share plenty here in the live webinar. I will do as much as I can within reason, because there is a requirement, no matter how we go about this, guys, there is a requirement for you to do work on your own in this subject. The live class every day will cover loads of stuff, but there is going to be a need for self-paced stuff, and that's the idea of subscriber course as well. Okay, so we go on here to the next bit then, and I go through. I just put up my screen correctly again. All right, so Kenach will biogan olishagum, even though I only have a little bit of knowledge, Madar leis an Timpeallacht, even though I only have a little bit of knowledge regarding the environment. On méide tá ráite ag na sanolaithe, from what the experts have said, tá taobh domhanda ag géireadh. So a géireadh could be sharpening or going off. You know, for example, Tampania géireadh, the milk is going off. But in actual fact, in this context, and you can use this across essays, it means intensifying. So that's a wonderful verbal noun that you probably haven't used before today. Egeru, intensifying. So make sure you make use of that. Curter on Milan. So the blame is placed upon Ervrosli Untasha. So let's get into again more terminology on fossil fuels. Lutnadikidi, pesticides, type of chemicals used in farming in particular. Gas, methane gas, carbon dioxide again, aspa banishtiachta dravila, a lack of waste management. Dravila is waste, so aspa banishtiachta dravila is a lack of waste management. August aspa planola, and a lack of planning, or have realtish and down from the point of view of the governments of the world. Nilain Auris Ermsa, I have no doubt, whatsoever. Ach Golanig Kursi Dirakarai, but things will continue on. Maratashid as they are. Gudi Gomeg Mion and Phobal Diraha Eranosana. Now, nice phrase there together. So until the public's Gudi Gomeg Mion and Phobal Diraha Eranosana Dohyasfacha Fein. It's a wonderful phrase for you today that you can use. Until the public's attention or mindset or attitude. So there's a few different ways of reading that. Until the public's attitude or mind is focused on their unsustainable habits, notion or habits or customs. So this isn't going to change. It's not going to get better until we deal with our own unsustainable notion jo do hiasfacha. Okay? Mas mar seo atá cuasaí, well, if this is how things are, tá faibana dacra le réiteach a gcuin. We've got difficult issues to solve. And, you know, again, we're talking about essays, you've got to have a range of general phrases. So, tá faibana dacra le réiteach a gcuin. We've got difficult issues, difficult problems to resolve. Agus níl móran ama fácanish, and we don't have much time left, chuni the réiteach, to solve them. Mar sin, on account of that, Kahmid achursal a us fedu lorok. We have to increase recycling. Kahmid achursal a us fedu. We have to increase recycling immediately. Loroks immediately. Trulu navrilaha a husk. We need to ban unregulated pollution. Trulu navrilaha a husk. We need to ban unregulated pollution. Skemana balaha dravila, waste collection schemes a chur ivine. We have to put waste collection schemes in effect or in place. Dravil rushach a choral. We need to treat. A choral is to treat something. Dravil gushach is hazardous waste. So Dravil gushach a choral. We need to treat hazardous waste. By the way, I'll go over this again in a second. Agus Quavenue na Timpeallacht, we've seen that already, the conservation of the environment, a Kirkun Keen to promote the conservation of the environment in Agna and Phobal, in the public's mind, Agus Tol Tory or Humalo, and that means consumers who don't care, who couldn't care less. Tol Tory or Humalo. I'll just run through those phrases again just so that people are able to get them down. So, very quickly, we have to increase recycling. We have to ban a cusk, unregulated pollution. We have to put into effect waste collection schemes. We have to treat hazardous waste. and we have to promote the conservation environment in the public's mind and consumers who don't care, who couldn't care less. Má hepan orin, tús a chur le gníomhartha mar seo. If we manage to put in, or sorry, if we fail, I apologise, má hepan orin, if we fail to tús a chur le gníomhartha mar seo, if we fail to put in actions like this, if we fail to begin actions or deeds like this, cho lua agus is féidir, as soon as is possible, tá buail dá rira ann, there's a serious danger there, go méid dóigh taobh down that global warming will increase as cuimse, out of control or unbelievably, agus go beg pert an duine déine shainte lúna má. Now there's one little typo here in this. I mentioned earlier in the Tishaginner you can't put a H in the D or T, so that should be pert on duine déine shainte lua no mal, and that means that a pert is a tune. So a duine déine, obviously a human being, so the human being's tune will be played sooner or later. In other words, we're all done for, right? The game will be up. Beg pert an duine déine shainte lua no mal. The game will be up for the human race sooner or later. All right. Agus an cuidearnach an seo. Sílim gohfuil sé fíorthábhachtach. I think it's extremely important. Go gcuirigh éas óg na tíre seo sim I gcuimhnú na timpeallacht. I think it's so important that the youth of this country would show an interest in the conservation of the environment. Tá súla gom go néontóid tú lom. I hope you'll agree with me, nuair a derm, when I say Gwyl géir gá le níos mó fógraí budscreachta is sconne. And a géir gá is a desperate need. So I hope you agree with me when I say that there's a desperate need for more fógraí budscreachta, for more propaganda notices is sconne na tíre in the schools of the country. So basically what we're saying here is there's a need to have more publicity, there's a need to have more I suppose awareness in schools. Madar le fibe na timpeallachta. But ceart go mbeadh cosc omláin. There should be a cosc omláin, a total ban, ar úsáid targaí plástacha éon úsáide. So this is one of the phrases a lot of people ask me for is, single-use plastic. So there should be a total ban on the use of single-use plastic goods. Okay? So úsáid targaí plástacha éon úsáide. So there should be a total ban on single-use plastic goods. Agus go gcuirfí policythe ísleidú drámhíle, and that policy or policies and go gcuirfís mócanílach bríthar séir. I'll put it together for you now. So go gcuirfí policythe ísleidú drámhíle a bhaim, and that waste reduction policies would be put into effect in ngach school, in every school, seachas le cuideacha, in every single school, rather than just in some of them. Dá digach daltaí, if students understood, so mócaníoch, if students understood na rauna éagsúla atá os a gcóir, if they understood the various choices facing them, madar le craobhnú na timpeallachta regarding the conservation or preservation of the environment, bheadh seans níos fearr ann, there'd be a greater chance go méid sásta páirt a ghlacha, that they'd be happy or willing páirt a ghlacha sa glúiseacht náisiúnta, or idir náisiúnta you could go with as well, to take part in this global movement chun acmhainní fuinnimh agus luach an chiseal ozone a chosan go jo. So acmhainní fuinnimh are energy resources agus luach an chiseal ozone a chosan go jo, and the value of the ozone layer a chosan go jo to preserve it or protect it forever. So if students understood the various choices that they have regarding the protection or conservation of the environment, there would be a much greater chance that they'd be happy or willing to take part in this global movement to protect energy resources and the value of the ozone layer forever. Or allied, at least, Ní thuirtheadís neamhord ar an bhaid níos mó. And that's a great way to end. At least they wouldn't ignore the problem anymore. Okay. So sin an aiste atá a dhéanamh goin inniu. Just rock me a rash chuig na ceise I gceann nómid. So just chun a chur anúil de gach céine. The Leavingcert Irish premium course, so if you look here, up here, the premium revision course is where the notes, for example, yesterday's lesson is in here. So the live class, you'll always be able to access the live class within this, and the notes are available, and you can download the notes. Now that's available as a free preview, and that will continue to be there for anybody who missed the class yesterday. This will remain in place forever. I'm not going to take this down. The course launch essay everyone wants to have, so I'm not going to take that down. If you go in, you'll see that you have the notes there and you can print them out. What will also be going in here in all these sections for the premium users are some flashcards links that you can actually practice the vocabulary as often as you want. Now obviously today, and I haven't had time in the past hour because of going live with this, I hadn't time to change this. So you had the entire Srá Picture course there, you had everything that you could possibly want. I suppose basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making sure that all of the oral content that would have been in there, that students would have covered and would have maybe relied upon for an essay in terms of vocabulary, I'll make sure that all these topics now appear as essays over the coming weeks. So I have a huge amount of work to go back and kind of rework what it is we're going to provide to people in terms of essays. There was a fantastic thing in there with a friend of mine, Porrick, looking at the examiner advice for the oral, but we don't need that now. So basically what I've started doing right now this morning, I've put in another essay for our premium users to start working on. So for example, Fibe and Vochtanish, you just click on it and the video tutorial comes up. You can go over and back as often as you wish. The notes are there for you then as well, and again the flashcards will be put in there at the bottom for people to start working on them. My intention is every single part of the written paper is going to be in this, and you can be rest assured that this will remain in place for as long as is necessary up until the exams begin. So the way you get to this is very simple. You go to courses.leavingcertirish.com. Sorry, preview is a logged out user. And if you go to courses.leavingcertirish.com, it's up here. And the links are there, I think, in the YouTube video as well. It's the Premium Irish Revision course. It's €50. It'll work out at less than €1 a day for the next 2 or 3 months, whatever it's going to be. And I'd really appreciate any support you could give us on that, because the more you do, the more I can, the more people we have in, the more I can do, the more time I can dedicate to this, to make this the best possible experience. As I say, all the notes for the live sessions will be in that premium section, so you'll be able to print them out in advance of the sessions. And you should take a look at what the likes of Siobhan had to say about what I was doing. For her, there's other ones on the YouTube page as well from a parent as well. So anybody who wants to have a look at that stuff, feel free. I'd appreciate any support you can give us, and pass on the word. So Keshtina, back to questions and maybe looking at what people are concerned about at this stage. So what are the questions that are coming up? All right, I don't see a whole lot of questions. Right, there's one here from Dawn regarding sitting for Hibernia course. Now we have a lot of people in here who are sitting the Hibernia courses, and that obviously, or the oral issue is going to be one. She's asking the question, wondering now, will they still expect me even if no oral done, or will I be told to apply next year? You will still have an oral, I can guarantee you, for Hibernia. I'm sure they'll update the situation as the days and weeks go on. but look, we'll just have to wait and see how it's all going to work out. I'm just looking at questions here now. There's an issue here with my chat. I might just need to rework this, guys. Give me 1 second. And just see, can I make that a bit bigger? Yeah. Okay. So let me just check here. So Shannon's doing the same. There will be an oral interview. Yeah, definitely. Hi Bernie, you're doing a webinar this evening. Going to, yeah, tell me about it. Echo, I have to change everything. Is Ihor Shachtach Mevi McBrat and Screw the Veil and Gapel Gamain and now not Screw the Kershir. Goody Fehehain. Yeah, is keen to Gamai to now Nishiniana. Bay on Rawa a Gachenia Conishiniana. Agus Matatu a Bra Gomor and Screw the Veil be keen to Gameach she. Well, now be row vorhefui, you know. Win 3 last, I'd say. You know, have a go. Sit the exam and see how it goes for you. I wouldn't actually throw the baby out with the bathwater just yet. I'd actually kind of wait to give yourself a chance and see could this situation work out well for you. Obviously, the written is going to be crucial at this point. So, yeah, look, we'll just kind of keep your powder dry. I would say sit the exam would be my advice to you. Okay. I know what. So, William Keshna Ella, are there any other questions? If there's not, I'm going to wrap up. We'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to do another essay tomorrow on inequality, and if you want to join us at 12 o'clock again tomorrow, Veach Fearfall the Roads, Tasulagum Gameg Gachenia Inaun, Ave Diraha an ober Ashamach, focused on the work, Agus Exu Leshan Gay Kamela Aveg Le Togalagwiv. You're just going to have to focus on what has to be done. And I'm here to support you as best I can. We'll continue with these sessions. As I say, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going through and do our bit together. So, Merwillain Kesh Elif, there's no other questions coming up there. I don't see any other questions coming up in the chat. What we'll do is we'll end today's session, and I'll just say Gurmil Magwiv, Agus Suladia, Fekime Gake and Dina Amorca reached a Manley. Agus Risho Scap and Scale, spread the news, tell people what's going on, and let's hope for a good result over the next couple of days. Let's hope that all this is going to work out well. I'm sure it will. I know it's a very stressful time for everyone. It's not just Irish, there's other subjects involved, but what you've got to do is stay focused. One idea, by the way, that I was talking to a few people about last night that I think you should consider is you should consider putting together a kind of a study buddy plan where you can actually link with people on Skype or WhatsApp or whatever format, that you don't just study on your own, that you maybe do some work together. Would be a great idea if you're at home and your friends are somewhere else. Well, they're going to be at home as well. Definitely start making plans around using the technology creatively to link up with each other, and hopefully when all this ends, and it will end, you'll get the benefit of that in your exams. So Shine Dun Law and you Sula Dia Fekmishiv Mark. Okay, Gurmil Magwiv, Slanagiv. If you have any other comments, stick them in there to the chat, and I'll deal with them tomorrow. Okay, Gurmil Magwiv, Slan Tama, Turar.